Ehrman mentions in the conclusion to Misquoting Jesus 8 different passages that he points out how these passages, this is illustrative, it's not all the passages he discusses, but in a concluding paragraph he talks about them. Matthew 24:36 is one, John 1:18, Mark 16:9 through 21, John 5:7, 8, Hebrews 2:8, 9, a text like this. And I'll just pick on 2 or 3 of these just to kind of show what he said and what's really going on. In Matthew 24:36, we have in our printed Bibles today, no one knows the day or the hour, neither the angels nor the Son, except the Father alone. And this is Jesus speaking in the Olivet Discourse. And nor the Son is not found in all of the manuscripts. And Ehrman camps on that verse more than any other verse in either Misquoting Jesus or Orthodox corruption. He refers to it at least 6 times in Misquoting Jesus. And he points out that the later proto-Orthodox scribes would have deleted nor the Son from their manuscripts because it slaps the face of Jesus. He's the omniscient Son of God. How can you say he doesn't know the day or the hour? And one of the things that is curious to me is what he doesn't tell. He's just not telling the whole story here. And the whole story is that if this was done by Orthodox scribes who deleted this for that theological purpose, then they missed 2 terrific opportunities to continue along that agenda. First of all, you have virtually no manuscripts that drop nor the Son in the parallel passage in Mark 13:32. And that says explicitly, no one knows the day or the hour, neither the angels nor the Son except the Father. And why is it that we have 1 10th century manuscript and 1 Latin manuscript, and that's it, that drop nor the Son in that passage, nothing else. So in Mark 24:36, we have most manuscripts that drop it. But in Matthew 24:36, we have most manuscripts that drop it. Mark 13:32, 2 manuscripts that drop it. That's remarkable. You know, these scribes, by the time we get to about AD 180, when Irenaeus is talking about how the Gospels, there must be 4 Gospels, just like there are 4 winds that control the earth, just as there's 4 other things. Irenaeus, whatever you think of his argument about the number of Gospels, the fact is he's using analogies that show this has been established for a long time and known for a long time. So by AD 180, we are looking at a 4-fold canon of the Gospels. So you've got Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You don't have the Gospel of Thomas or Philip or Peter or Mary or anything else in there, just those 4 Gospels. That surely goes back deep into the 2nd century, very early on in the 2nd century. If that's the case, then these proto-Orthodox scribes from early in the 2nd century or middle of the 2nd century, they're not going to be omitting nor the Son for that theological reason, because why would they skip over Mark 13:32? Now the other thing that's even more pertinent is in the very passage in Matthew 24:36, it says the Father alone. It says neither the angels in heaven nor the Son except the Father alone. So even if you dropped nor the Son, and I'm inclined to think that Matthew did not put in nor the Son. I think that actually does go back to him. But it's not a faith commitment to me. In fact, I've wrestled and gone back and forth on this the last few years. But if you have neither the angels except the Father alone, well, that alone seems to be exclusive of just the Father, and therefore the Son is not part of that purview of the knowledge. And in Mark 13:32, the interesting thing is you have neither the angels nor the Son except the Father, period. You don't have alone there. So Matthew is saying implicitly with the alone what Mark says explicitly with nor the Son. And so if scribes were saying, boy, we don't want to argue against the omniscience of the Son of God, let's drop this nor the Son in Matthew 24:36. Then I'd ask the question, why didn't they drop the alone in Matthew 24:36? Why didn't they drop the nor the Son in Mark 13:32? They just, this is one of the worst conspiracy jobs ever performed. And it goes back very early. We have early versions that don't have nor the Son. We have Origen speaking about some manuscripts that he is aware of that did not have nor the Son. And yet, the first time we have any church father that talks about this as causing problems theologically for them is not until the 4th century when we get to St. Basil. And I think that's significant. We have father after father that talks about this text. And Irenaeus even uses it. He thinks nor the Son is authentic, and he says, let's use this as an illustration for our own humility before God. Ehrman mentions none of that. Absolutely none of that. He doesn't mention Mark 13:32, that parallel passage. He doesn't talk about the monos. He doesn't talk about what the fathers say, except for one place where he talks about what Origen says, but he doesn't cite the source, and it's actually what Jerome says Origen said, and we had to look this up. He doesn't give all the references that he needs to, even in his book, Orthodox Corruption of Scripture. So that's a major passage that I just don't think he has handled appropriately, and yet it becomes the major passage for his whole theological agenda. I would say if he's missed it on that, then how much confidence can we have in Ehrman that he got the rest of it right?